Hey guys, Ron here. Boy, I am so excited today. Sorry about the hair day. It's windy up here, and I was wearing a hat before. I am so excited I'm about to burst. I'm going to show you two houses to start out with, and a view that is just spectacular. I'm going to show you the home I actually just spoke to. She might still be out there. The owner of the home where Carole King owned from 1968 to 1982. Carole King wrote and recorded the album Tapestry. She took the photo for the Tapestry album in this house, and for the next album, Music, which she followed up to Tapestry with her dog in the picture in that house. I just talked to the owner, and I'll say it later in the video, but the owner of the former Carole King house also lived in by Gypsy Rose Lee, although she thinks she might have been a renter. Carole King definitely owned it. Courtney Cox, the actress, owned it, and Courtney Cox says it's haunted. And the owner just told me, let's put it this way, she said, word for word, she said, my dog sitter won't stay over, and there are definitely shenanigans, but she said they seem to like us. So she's saying that that house is haunted. Carole King had told Courtney Cox that there was some kind of bad divorce in the house, and that there were ghosts ever since then. But the new owner just confirmed it to me. Very nice lady. So hopefully she won't be there right in the front yard, because I told her I'm going to film some other houses. I didn't specifically, I said I had a YouTube channel, but I guess she's used to it. But anyway, let's take a look. I wish the day was more clear, but these are some of the views. This is up on the top of Laurel Canyon. You can almost see the ocean. I'm standing on a wall of a house that is either torn down or being renovated. Check this out. And over there, we're going to head to 8803 first, and then, excuse me, I had to step down, then we'll do the Mary Astor, and then we'll, do the Carole King house after that. Let's look at these houses too. My companion, she has taken a walk while I started filming. I don't know where she is, but I'll start filming without her and catch up. We're at the very top of the hill here, and surprisingly, this is the third car plus a motorcycle I've seen gone by, and I'm surprised, because it's quiet otherwise. There's views looking toward the valley, San Fernando Valley. So we're right on the top of the hill. That direction I just showed you is the west side towards the beach, and those mountains there are past the San Fernando Valley. All right, she's completely out of sight. I don't know where she is. So let's film now. Yeah, so I've been waiting for these ones because you've got the views, you've got the historic homes, and you've got the history. Really beautiful. So the first house I'm going to show you, well, we're almost to actually the house is for sale. There's a lot of open houses today up here, but unfortunately this one does not appear to be open. But there are other open houses in the neighborhood. In fact, there's one that I'm probably going to go to that I thought had a celebrity background, but in my research I cannot find it. Okay. Kids, people walking dogs, skateboards. Well, looks like they are talking to the owner of the Carole King house. So that means she's still out front. So I'll have to wait a little bit till I film. So this house was owned by Denny Doughtery of the Mamas and the Papas. He bought it in 1966, and it was originally belonged to Mary Astor, famous actress. It was built in the 30s. So Denny Doughtery owned this house when he was at the height of the fame, when he was with Mamas and the Papas. And when he sold this house, Hal Ashby moved in, and Hal Ashby was the director of the movie Harold and Maude, among other things. In fact, he was working on Harold and Maude when he was living here, Hal Ashby was. And Cat Stevens, musician who was doing the music, used to come by. Oh, there's cars, there's people, there's dog walking. So anyway, maybe it's not her house. Maybe it is her house. Okay. Well, there's a lot of activity up here all of a sudden, folks, just when I decided to come here. So Mary Astor, then later Denny Doughtery of the Mamas and the Papas. You can imagine the parties here. And Cass Elliot didn't live too far away, up here in Laurel Canyon also. Somebody just pulled up to that house. I guess it's grocery day. And like I said, then Hal Ashby, director. The Rolling Stones stayed here for a time. It's interesting because, as you can see, it's not that ostentatious a house, especially compared to even the one next door. But it definitely got a famous reputation. And Cat Stevens would come here as they were working on the soundtrack. Now the owner is still out in front of the former Carole King house, so let's see if I can film or not. Here's another view here of the Denny Doughtery house. Look at that bamboo. Alright guys, now as you can see, this woman and her little kid are talking to the owner that I was just talking to of the former Carole King house, and this is it. So unfortunately I can't get right into the driveway since she's doing her gardening and talking to this other person. But this is it. This is where Carole King recorded Tapestry. The photograph, if you see the Tapestry album, was taken from one of those front windows, looking out the window with her cat there. Now, the owner confirmed to me that the photo was taken out the front, and I had heard that before. It's taken out one of the front windows, which we'll try to see in a minute. As you can see, to the right of the spire area, there's some windows. So Carole took the picture, or the photographer took it of Carole looking out on this street view, not out on the back, which some people had speculated. So I had just had a great conversation with the owner of this house. So Carole King lived here, obviously. Now Gypsy Rose Lee lived here, but might have rented it. She says she didn't see her on the former owner rolls. But Carole King, after Carole King broke up with her songwriting partner and husband Jerry Goffin in, I believe, 1968, she moved to this house, bought this house. She actually owned it till 1982. So she wrote the Tapestry album and took the photos of it, like I said, in the house here. Also the music album, her follow-up to Tapestry, with her dog in it this time. And at some point later on, actually in about, I believe, 1990 or 91, the actress Courtney Cox moved in here. And Courtney Cox said that this house was haunted, and she had heard from Carole King that there was a bad divorce in the house somewhere in the lineage of it. And I just talked to the owner. As I said, you can't see her, but you can hear her talking to this woman. And the owner told me that there are definitely ghosts in this house, and she says they spent 3 years renovating it when they bought it. But she says there are what she called shenanigans, and that her pet sitter, her dog sitter, refuses to spend the night. Let's put it that way. But she said they're used to it, and the ghost does not bother them. That's basically what she said. So she's still out there. You can hear her talking. Let's see how close we can get without disturbing her. We don't want to eavesdrop on their conversation, but she owns a very famous house. Love that spire. Okay, I'm going to walk down the hill a minute and see what we see. That is a big house they're working on up the hill there. All right, we're going to walk by. Here's another view. Well, if it's a haunted house, which the owner just told me that it is, confirming the rumors that Courtney Cox and Carole King said, it sure looks haunted. Kind of gothic, doesn't it, with those spires? Let's walk up this street. So there's music coming from the pool area or the backyard there. You can almost see the actual windows. One of those windows past there. Pretty amazing, huh? Pretty amazing, and very nice for her to come out and talk to me. All right, folks, we're going to go down the road and see what we see. So while we're on the subject of Carole King living there at the house, evidently the story that the photographer tells is that he had Carole in the window there, trying to take the cover photo for the album, and the cat was scurrying around, and the cat was sitting on a pillow, and she was sitting in kind of the ledge of the window there. Old house, you know, built in 1934, so she's taking that picture in 1970. It's getting to be an older house even then. That the photographer picked up the pillow with the cat on the pillow and then took the photo that way. And then I guess it was apparently good for one photo. This is what I wanted. One photo, and then the cat took off. Surprised cat even stayed for the one photo. So here's the beautiful views. By the way, this is also the spot where apparently this is where Jim Morrison got the idea, came up with the lyrics for People Are Strange, the song. He came over to a house very near here, within walking distance. At that time, Robbie Krieger and John Densmore of the Doors were roommates. Jim Morrison came by one day and he was freaked out, upset about things, and Robbie said, let's go take a walk and clear your head. And I guess Morrison must have come or gone on for the walk without Robbie, because he came up to this spot by himself. Maybe it was more clear, he could see the ocean better. Came up to this spot by himself, and he came back with the lyrics for People Are Strange. Somehow this was an inspiration spot for him. Those buildings we're looking at, that's Century City. In fact, the building on the far left that you see, the tall one on the far left, that's Fox Tower, Fox Plaza, and that's where the movie Die Hard was filmed. That was Nakatomi Plaza for the original Die Hard. Ooh, I'm going the wrong direction. So, People Are Strange, the lyrics, at least right back here. And then he came back to the house. Densmore was out, but Robbie, like I said, was there, and Robbie started working on the music for the song. Dun, 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 dun. Actually, it was after Morrison had already was thinking of the tune, and he hummed it to Robbie. So these guys have got just dirt and cut up road leading to their garages here, and here this looks like some cell phone towers or something, some kind of towers behind there. And I've got the tune for People Are Strange in my head. Alright guys, boy, I've been so looking forward to this one. I am so glad I got to do this. And I just got to show you this shot for, whoops, I got to show you this. Listen to the wind. Listen to the wind coming through. Anyway, I'm so glad I got to do this because I've been really looking forward to doing this and being up here. So, again, Carole King's apparently haunted house. Still haunted, according to the owner that I just spoke to. Gypsy Rose Lee lived there. Courtney Cox lived there. First house I showed you was owned by Denny Doughtery, the singer of the Mamas and the Papas. Then Ted Ashley, the director, working on the movie Harold and Maude when he lived there, and Cat Stevens would come over to do the music. The Rolling Stones stayed there at some point. So great, and Mary Astor. Mary Astor owned it before Denny Doughtery. So a great history up here in Laurel Canyon, actually. And now, even though I filmed it, I'm going to go back to Joni Mitchell's house, which she still owns, which is at the bottom of the hill from here, and I'm just going to take another look at it. I'm not going to do another video for you guys because I do have one. So if you're interested in seeing Joni Mitchell's house, just scroll through my videos. Oh, it's car after car here. It's very interesting. I don't know why. Scroll through if you'd like to see it. All right, guys, Ron here. Always a pleasure to be with you. If you like the channel, please subscribe. If you do subscribe, please hit the little bell icon next to the subscription button. You'll be notified when I post. And also, please give the channel likes. I'd really appreciate it. And I can't wait to see the comments. All right, guys. See you at the next location. Bye-bye.